Hello and welcome to another episode of Improv Sucks. I am your host, Nelson Velazquez, and I am surrounded by hotel at this moment, and I'm really enjoying it back in Orlando, Florida. Super duper excited on a resort property, and check out the view I've got from my balcony. In today's episode, there is one thing that I want to talk about, and that is hosting. Now, I know I've already done another video about hosting. If you haven't checked it out, you can check it out somewhere around here, I'm assuming. I'll post up a picture to it or a link, and you can check that out. I go more in depth about hosting, short-form improvisation. But there's one aspect that I didn't really cover in that video that I wanted to talk about, and that is the host's power and the host's responsibility. And what can that mean? So when you're the host of a show, you have a lot of power, right? You have power. Your responsibility is to explain to the audience how to watch the game, what game they're watching. Also, your responsibility is to make sure that the game is going on smoothly, making sure that it ends properly, making any kind of edits that are appropriate so that your actors look really, really good, right? So there's a lot of power beyond that, but you also have a lot of responsibility. And I think that's something to definitely point out. And that responsibility is twofold. The first one is that you have responsibility to your actors, make them look great, right? So that means everything from explaining the game properly to the audience, to getting suggestions that are appropriate for the people that are playing it as well is important. The other responsibility that you have as a host is to the audience. And what I mean by that is that you want to try to set it up so that the audience is on the side of the actors. And that is a lot of responsibility to figure out, especially with an audience you're not very familiar with. Your job is to get them on your side. So one technique that I like to do is just having audience participation in mass. I think that's a really good technique. And what you can do is, for example, in a game like ABC, you can have the audience kind of be an arbiter or be another improviser while they're there. And if you've never played ABC, let's take, for example, in this game, there's going to be a two-person scene. And the game itself is where each actor begins each response that they have with the first word having the next letter in the alphabet after a letter has been chosen. So, for example, let's say the letter is A. The first actor's line of dialogue is going to start with the first word having the letter A in it. So it could be like, Andy, come on over. I want to show you this brand new engine I dropped into this Camaro. The next actor has to have B as the first letter of the first word of their response. So it might be like, boy, oh boy, can't wait to see that engine. Next actor has C. Cool, man. This has been something I've been wanting to show you because I know how much you like old school Camaros. D. So on and so forth. I explain that to the audience in this way of like, hey, you're going to see a two-person scene. They are going to begin the first letter of every word in their responses with the next letter of the alphabet. Can I get a letter of the alphabet for them to start on? I then say, oh, I also need your help. Our actors tend to be a little forgetful sometimes whenever we're playing this game. Would you mind making sure that you remember what the next letter is that they're supposed to be on? And they may come to you at some point and ask you what letter we're on, and I want to make sure you got their backs. Are you ready to let them know what letter they're going to be on? Yeah, awesome. So now I've built this sense of investment from the audience just by doing that much. Now I've got them invested in remembering what the next letter is and really paying attention to what's going on in the scene and really kind of, in a way, rooting that they get to the next letter so that maybe at some point they forget. And then they can be a part of it collectively. And they're not putting any skin in the game individually because they're doing it in mass. And I think that's a lot of powerful support that you can garner from your audience for your short form improv games just by having them be a part of it in some small way, shape, or form that's a little consequential to the overall flow of the game, but doesn't require them to put too much effort into it, and doesn't require a lot of risk from their perspective to participate in what's going on. Check that out. Let me know what you think of that idea, like getting the audience involved and being a part of your games. Let me know that in the comments down below. How do you do it? Are there better ways of doing this thing? I would be really interested in finding out how other people like to do it. If you like the video, please like it. If you could, maybe even subscribe. That would be great to the channel. I've been your host, Nelson Velazquez, and thank you for watching.